House of Representatives discovers Federal Polytechnic with only 142 students and 154 members of staff. EFCC breaks silence, says Emefiele and cronies seized 753 duplex estates with forex kickbacks. Later on the show, Senate summons Kiamo, NCAA DG, airline operators and others over flight delays and cancellations. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade, Otitoju and Paul Dada. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. Institutions of learning are meant to be hubs of growth and efficiency, balancing resources with impact. When these are skewed or missing, questions are raised about management and priorities. Such concerns came to light when the House of Representatives uncovered a Federal Polytechnic operating with just 142 students but an astonishing 154 staff strength. The report showed that the newly established Federal Polytechnic, located in Ugep in Cross River State, has spent about 600 million naira on personnel and overhead costs, with another 38 million naira spent on local travels by the institution. The revelation came as part of the ongoing oversight of institutions by the House. Now let's bring the conversation home. BKO, first of all, let's start this way. Should a polytechnic have such a small number of students?
I don't think it makes sense. I don't also think that the members of staff should be more than the students.
Outnumbering.
I've never seen such a case in my life. But you know, and in spite of the fact that they have so little students to cater for, because without the students, the institution is not even necessary in the first place. The institution exists because of the students.
Sure.
Now, look at all of the money that they spent. Look at all of the money that they spent within so short a time, and to cater to very few students. There's no way you not weave corruption around all of these things. I remember some years ago, the National Assembly discovered a ghost unity school. A ghost unity school, complete with bogus principal, vice principal academic, vice principal admin, and principal.
And it's a ghost.
Complete with a ghost retinue of staff. And this is a school that does not exist. And money was budgeted for it. It was in the course of the
oversight function.
Yes, that they actually discovered that school did not exist. But they had budget prepared for them.
On a year.
And they had what was supposed to be a complete retinue of staff. So these things happen. If the National Assembly and the regulatory agencies would do their work well, we'll discover a lot more.
A lot more.
A lot more. This is probably even a child's play compared to what we will discover if we would be diligent enough to investigate and thoroughly even look at the budget every year and assess the sources of implementation.
Budget performance.
Because when you budget performance, when you appropriate money, you also need to do some background check to see whether money appropriated was judiciously used. There are so many avenues through which the resources of our country are leaking. We've got to do our best to block those loopholes. If we can block them, we'll be able to make a lot more money, and we'll be able to find money to use for critical projects. For now, what gets stolen in our country is mind-boggling. Contract sums in our country are the most humongous in the world. And it's because a good chunk of the money is meant to be shared between corrupt government officials, corrupt National Assembly members, and all that.
But are there consequences for bad behavior in this regard?
There are consequences, but the capacity to ensure that people pay for bad behavior is really not there.
Really not there.
People in the National Assembly, they are stealing. But how often do the law enforcement come after such people? Because they too are guilty of bad behavior. They can't deny it. They too are guilty of corruption. I appreciate the fact that they are trying to, they are doing their work, trying to expose the inefficiencies in the federal bureaucracy and all that. But they have their own issues. So the question is, who goes after them? Those of them who connive with officials of government to steal money through budgeting, who comes for them? We just look at them, oh, they are lawmakers, it's their job, but they use that opportunity to feather their own nest. Who comes for them?
The EFCC should answer that.
The war, they know, the EFCC knows that they are not doing enough in terms of coming after these big people. How many of the people in the National Assembly who are stealing money through budgeting have actually been exposed? How many? How many of people, lawmakers, who are taking bribes in the course of doing their oversight functions have been exposed and made to pay?
That's a big question.
How many of such people who is someone, federal bureaucrats, but use the opportunity to extort money of them from them? How many of such people have been exposed? Or are we saying that if they give us a Bible or Quran to swear, we will say that these things don't happen?
We know. It does. But Paul, looking at it, do you consider the amount spent on overhead costs and looking at the population of it, do you see it as a waste of money?
It's a waste of money. It seems to me that even the Polytechnic took off before they even had a place, they had any structure at all. Because if you listen to the man, the rector, he said...
He gave some reasons.
Hold on. He said they gave them 2 billion naira as a takeoff. Now, they had no place. They had no structure. They had nothing on ground. So they had to look for one dilapidated school that had not been, one community secondary school that had not been used for 25 years with dilapidated buildings and all of that. That was 2021. Now, they've spent 600 million naira on personnel and overhead costs, 38 million for travel. What? Doing what? Traveling to where? To do what? 154 workers, 142 students. Even some primary schools have...
That's one classroom.
Exactly.
Public primary. This is a federal school.
That's a classroom.
This is a federal school. It's not even a private school. I think that we are joking with education in this country. We are already... I don't know why we keep proliferating polytechnics and university institutions.
No, they see it as a dividend of democracy.
It is nothing. You see, when I wonder how many departments, faculties and departments are even in that school. How many of their courses are accredited? Because before you accredit a course, you must make sure that there is an infrastructure or facility in place to support. Now, they are meeting in one place. I mean,
they're just spending money.
They're just spending money. I think that all of them should be further approved. Only that many times when people are invited to come and talk at the committee of national affairs, almost always the talk show.
Nothing happens.
I mean, those committees sometimes are just back.
How was that money even approved? When you knew that all of these things were not even on ground?
That's the question I'm asking. That's what I said at the beginning.
How was that money approved?
There was no structure on ground.
And yet the money was
approved. You approved a 2 billion. They started looking for a structure. And then they found a secondary school that had been abandoned for 25 years and tried to innovate the... That's the story. Many things are not adding up. But where do we go from here? is being discovered, who has the power to enforce the law against any infraction that has been committed in the whole case, you know. Now, we may not hear anything about it anymore, you know.
Certainly.
We're not hearing anything about it anymore.
No, but let's...
It's just the initial gra-gra, and then that's it.
They look at the immigration service. There was this issue of the woman who tore the passport. They told us, this thing we are probing. Since that time, they've not opened.
Nothing has come out.
You see, we have people in government and in public service who are not accountable. They should know. The immigration people should know. And the minister of Interior who supervises that agency of government should know that Nigerians will want to know how that matter ended up. They just think that we have a short attention span. After a while, Nigerians will stop.
Then we move on to other
troubles. That is the thing. That's why they don't care. They believe that if we shout after some time, they will keep quiet. We have the capacity here to keep bringing up.
Exactly.
We have the capacity to embarrass them if they don't do what is right. And they should know it. It's not enough to just tell Nigerians, oh, we are going to do something, and then you keep quiet. You must be responsible to Nigerians. You have a job to do. Let Nigerians know so that we can set an example.
True.
If it was a skit, let us know, because people said it was a skit. Who knows? Nothing surprises me anymore in this country. Perhaps it was a skit. So if it was a skit, let us know that it was a skit.
Yeah.
Not that you whet the appetite of Nigerians, you know, and after a while you just keep quiet. Oh, if we like to, tomorrow we'll bring up that matter.
Sure.
Until they now tell Nigerians that this is where they are on the matter. People deserve to know. I've never seen where somebody tore the passport.
Nigerian document.
You know? And they just kept quiet. Immigration, they just kept quiet. Because they think, oh, Nigerians, after a while, nobody will talk about it again. Oh, if we don't forget and we keep talking about it, at a point, we have to say something.
It is our duty as a media to hold government to account.
Yes.
Hold them to account.
Abba.
Not to make them comfortable.
Exactly. All right.